What is good, guys? It's your boy Ray J here with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about where I project Tesla going tomorrow and the upcoming days ahead. And the reason I'm doing this is I know people know that Tesla is a long-term investment and that we shouldn't be just looking at it from a day-to-day basis. But there have been lots and lots of people DMing me and asking me to do these videos. So in these videos, guys, I'm just going to talk about where I see it going tomorrow and the upcoming future and the near future as well, but I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes because people want me to do it. And just like most people, we have the same conviction that we are bullish in the long run and that Tesla still has massive potential. So I'm going to be doing a quick technical analysis. I'm going to go over major updates and things going on with Tesla and what's up and coming. And before I do any of this, guys, I have to mention two quick things. First off, I'm not a financial advisor, legal expert, or taxation expert. I'm simply doing this for I'm simply doing this for entertainment purposes. So do not take this as legal, taxation, or financial advice. Additionally, guys, if you can, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but it benefits the entire community, and it helps people come together and just learn more about Tesla and the latest updates for people who do not know many things or are not very well informed right now. With that said and done, guys, let's do the technical analysis. All right. So if you look at the 6 month chart, Tesla was in the $800 range. I believe it actually touched the 900 if you go even farther back, but it was in the 800 just about 6 months ago. And then in March, we had the crash, the EV crash, which was chiefly due to the chip shortage that happened. Tesla went as low as $539 a share, and it did have a big recovery up to the $780 range before dropping again. It's basically been fluctuating between these massive points, and there's been a lot of volatility, which actually makes it not so good in the eyes of institutionalized investors. And it did fall alongside with the S&P 500 due to many things going on, such as interest rates going up, and obviously bonds yields were looking a lot more enticing for massive institutionalized investors. But look, I want to say something. Since May, overall, Tesla has been on an upward trend, and it does make me a little bit more bullish for the upcoming future. It was as low as $545, and it reached $711 today. It's currently at that price and maybe a little bit down today, but overall, it's still doing relatively well. And I just think it's very important that, look, you don't have to just look at Tesla from a day-to-day basis. We are obviously in this in the long run. If you look at it over the 5 year chart, just look at that massive growth. But if you look at Tesla over, how it's been over the past few days, yeah, I mean, it's actually still doing relatively well. It was in a phase of consolidation. This was the run from today, and this is where it is about to be closing at. So Tesla is still doing well, guys, and I am very bullish in the future. But before I talk about my price predictions, I'm going to go over some very important data. So look at the monthly sales data. Okay, in 2021, look at these numbers, but before we look at them, let's look at 2020. So in the year 2020, obviously that should have been a hard year, but Tesla actually did relatively well. Their sales volume, it was a little bit low in the very beginning, but towards the middle and end, just look at their numbers. They started doing over 43,000 sales, over 47,000 sales towards Q3 of the year 2020, and overall it had, I would still say it was a pretty decent year. Um, I'm not going to say it was a bad year, but if you compare it to what happened this year, there was a major chip shortage, and the effects of what happened last year are beginning to show. And I obviously can't say the name of what happened. We'll just call it the pandemic for many purposes, such as the YouTube algorithm. But if you look at 2021, it has been a little bit down this year. And I'm not necessarily scared of that. I'm just going to say the uncomfortable truth, and that is it has been relatively tough on these EV companies, not just Tesla, but other companies such as NIO and Xpeng and Rivian. They've been having a really tough time with the projected changes that have been going on. Now, looking at their market share and their annual sales, excuse me, their sales have been going up and up, except for the year 2019. They were down negative 1.21%, but after that, they were up over 50.11%. And it appears that it's projected to be a little bit down. It's going to be a little bit down for 2021, but that's not 100% confirmed yet. So I cannot come to any conclusions yet. But overall it's been doing relatively well. The market share change has been going up, and Tesla has been looking really good. And I do believe that in terms of its market cap, it's going to surpass the not just 1 trillion but multi-trillion dollar range in the future, in years and years to come. So if we look at the street, what's going on, it's basically stated that Tesla stocks surpassed $700 for the first time in 3 months. That is absolutely insane because Tesla, it just shows that Tesla is doing well. They're coming up, they're doing a lot better. Now, looking at this, there has been some FUD going on, and that is Tesla apologizes for new Model S delays. I remember Elon mentioning that before the Cybertruck is released, they're going to have to increase sales for the Model S. And right now, there are many delays, and this article states that it's because of what happened last year. That's the main reason, and I do think that played a big role in what's happening. But also, it's because of the chip shortage, as a major factory in Japan burnt, and because of relations between the U.S. and China. So those obviously played a big role, and it's been really frustrating for some people. But I kid you not, guys. There are still huge things to come, so you should not just look at it and just be disappointed. So this is another article. Obviously, the mainstream media tends to have negative sentiment. There tends to be positive light and negative sentiment simultaneously, but a little bit more negative light towards Tesla. I've actually noticed that. And it has to do with a lot of things that were going on last year, especially with shorts. I'm not going to go into full details about that, but it's just very important that people realize that the mainstream media is not always a great way to learn about every detail about Tesla. But they're saying that there's another disappointment. Elon Musk's Tesla delays the long-awaited Cybertruck until 2022. Why? Well, yeah, unfortunately, it's true that the Cybertruck is going to be delayed, and this is actually, in my eyes, Tesla's still doing well, even though there is this delay going on. It's happening because of many reasons, such as the virus that happened last year, such as the big changes that happened, the unexpected punch that these EV stocks took because of the chip shortage, and the failures and the less sales they've been getting this year due to that. And that's also affected the Model S, its sales and its revenue, which affects Cybertruck as well, according to Elon. So I'm not necessarily angry about this or sad. It's been a really tough year, and the results in terms of the stock price and the market cap of Tesla could have been much different from where it actually was. But that isn't necessarily something to be afraid of or sad about, because the future is still very bright. So this is the last thing I'm going to be talking about, and that is Tesla's AI Day is going to be happening on August 19th. It's very important that we talk about this because um, basically Tesla is going to go over many of its innovations and many of the new changes it's made to its AI and autonomous driving technology. It's going to be really exciting, actually, because they may unveil the new updates for their autopilot and full self-driving technology, alongside many safety features. I know they've received criticism from the mainstream media about that, but overall I think it's going to be very promising. Now, how will that affect the stock price? Well, typically days like this do not have the biggest or the best outlook, because there are going to be many expectations which aren't always met, and it may not have a huge run up when it leads up to that. I think leading up to that, it may even approach the 720s or even higher. And after that, it may actually drop considerably low, maybe as far as, I think the $700 range has a really strong resistance. So it may actually crash right after, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the end, because anytime Tesla has had big crashes, it also has had recoveries eventually. They the time span differs, but I still think that overall Tesla is still a very good buy. Even today, the price is going to look relatively cheap compared to where it's going to be in the future. And I think there are a lot of people holding the stock because they have the same conviction. So for my stock price for prediction for tomorrow, because people ask me, I think Tesla is going to be very stagnant, just like it was today. I think it's going to stay around the seven. I think it's going to stay reach about 715 tomorrow, and maybe just stay around there, and then it'll start consolidating around the 710 range again. And for next week, I do see it going a lot higher, because people are going to be very hyped about the AI day. And I think after the AI day, it's going to drop a little bit. But overall, my price target for Tesla is over 900 for the end of the year. I'm still very bullish, but that is assuming that there isn't a massive correction in the market, which is totally possible, because there is a lot of uncertainty that's going on right now, especially with, you know, the new tax codes and new things that are going on. Of course, that's going to have an effect. But like I said before, guys, I'm still very bullish. Even tomorrow, I think it's going to be a stagnant day, but I am bullish until the AI day happens, I do think there's going to be a small crash. And then after, I still think Tesla's going to continue on the bullish trend it is on, and that Tesla is still going to look good. So I want to thank you so much for listening, guys. And I really, really hope that you like and subscribe to the video. And I have to remind you that nothing in this video is financial or taxation advice. And once again, guys, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.